The big story today out of Colorado is not really about you. I mean, there's a big story, but Travis Hunter kind of opened some eyes today with a big statement that starting to make its way. He was on a podcast where he was asked, hey, how do you feel about playing one side of the ball over the other? Because obviously, look, Heisman Trophy winner coming in could be the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL, playing both ways. Like, everybody can't wait to see him play. And he said, hey, if there's any team out there, there's a team, I would rather retire than not play both sides of the football. Like, if you're thinking, if you want to play me on one side of the football, not the other, I may as well retire. Whoa, wait, what? You retire? Whoa, wait. First of all, that would only happen if the Jets got him. Like, I can see the Jets getting him, and then there's a big statement, and the Jets come out and say, Darren Mucci, and here comes Aaron Glenn. We're excited. He's going to be a shutdown corner for us. What about offense? Yeah, we don't know so much. We have Garrett Wilson, got to get him the football. We got some guys. And then the next day, he announces his retirement from the NFL. Like, that would only happen if the Jets did it.
Yeah, and that's why people want to retire after their Jets, not for this reason, not for playing both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah. People get to the Jets, go, I can't believe Aaron Rodgers wants to play. He hadn't had enough the last 2 years with the Jets. He wants to keep going? Got to keep going,
Glenn,
man.
Some people choose to be there.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Steve. That's the best thing that's happened to the Jets in years is Aaron Glenn wanting to be here. Like, I've wanted this job. Like, I wanted to be. He played with the Jets. He was a star here. He was such a great player for so long. I loved Aaron Glenn. He wanted to come back. It's so great, but if he came in here instead of Joe Douglas, I would say, dude, why?
This is actually a serious point that you got a guy that's been in New York already.
And he wanted to come. Like, he could have gone other places. I'd say, what, dude, why?
Yeah, because
just give me the why.
I mean, who were the hot candidates? Both coordinators in Detroit last year. Oh, he's going to be a head coach. He's going to be a head coach. This is the NFC's whole story, was that team until maybe the last 2 weeks.
I mean, it's amazing. We somehow got Aaron Glenn.
And then, of course, as we referenced earlier, Minnesota kind of took over as far as stories go in a negative way at the end of the season.
But as far as Travis Hunter, like, what is this all about, right? Because clearly he's not going to retire. I mean, maybe if the Raiders pick him. But he's clearly not going to retire.
No, he's not, of course.
Why is this out there? I'll tell you exactly what this is about. There's no team that doesn't want him to play both sides of the football, right? You would think. There's no team. Everybody maybe we're thinking he'll be a little more dominant on one side of the ball than the other. Maybe he'll play more defensive back than wide receiver, because really you're going to run him out there on plays where you're not going to throw the football. You're not, he'll be out there on passing downs. I understand it, but everybody wants him to play both sides of the ball. However, the fact he said this, I would almost guarantee you there is one team near the top of the draft that has let it be known either through him or back channels that, hey, we really see you as a defensive back. And maybe a little bit of offense, but we think you have untapped potential. We love you. We think you're going to be the next Rod Woodson in the NFL. We think that. And he wants to make sure that everybody knows, don't take me if you're not going to put me on both sides of the football. Right now, I think the other part of it, there's probably an added bonus of him making sure teams know I want a big role on both sides right away. But I think that's the ancillary point, because there's no way he says this unless he knows there's a team up near the top that that is flirting with or has given him enough pause to think, hey, if we get you, it's not going to be a lot of offense for you. Whoa. What do you mean not a lot of? Whoa. Hang on. So this is him just kind of throwing the gauntlet down, saying, yo, I'm playing both sides of the football. I'm going to play it a lot, and that's what I do. And anybody else that thinks I'm going to come in, you need to sort of, slide me in a little bit. No, I'm ready to jump in. I played both sides of the ball my whole life. I've done it in college at an extremely high level in D1. I'm ready to do it in the NFL. And you know what? Whoever drafts him, that's exactly what they should do. Put him out. Let him play both sides of the football. This is why you got him. Well, maybe he hasn't gotten hurt yet, right? Hasn't gotten hurt yet. And this is why you're drafting Travis Hunter, because he's a unicorn, because he's Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers didn't draft Shohei Ohtani so he would never pitch for him again. They thought, okay, it's fine. He's going to hit 50 home runs a year. He's the best offensive player in the game. And eventually in a year or two, he'll pitch for us, and look how great that's going to be. 8 years, he'll pitch for us and play the field. It's going to be fantastic. Like, this is why you're drafting Travis Hunter. I say load up. whatever you need, whatever eating program, whatever it is, because you're going to get all the work you want. You're going to play offense nearly full-time. You're going to play defense full-time. Let's do it. Let's see how it goes. And then you can adjust, and if, okay, maybe you need to dial it back a little bit, he would probably understand, hey, I'm not as sharp as I need to be. I need more reps here in practice, whatever it is. But that's why you're drafting the guy. You're drafting him to be this kind of superstar. I would tell him right away, whatever team meeting, I would say, hey, dude, just want you to know, man, you're going to be out there first team offense and defense. And until you tell me you need to come out or you show me that you need to come out, you're out there. This is why we're getting you. I mean, really. I'm
glad you used the phrase "eat up" also, because that's kind of my thought going into the draft in the first place with Travis Hunter. I absolutely, because as you say, we saw it at an elite level in college. Absolutely believe he could do this. But if you're drafting this high, and he seems to be a top 5 pick for next week, you need the guy to have a career. You need 7 or 8 years. You need a second contract at minimum out of this guy. And I don't see him at, 6'1", 180? He's not 6'3", 210. You know,
yeah.
There are receivers like that. He's not one of those. And so if you're going to grind him down, not only just as an NFL receiver, that's possible on that side of the ball, but to have potentially that many snaps in an NFL game and therefore that many hits in an NFL game, I don't see him 7-8 years on the team that drafts him, if that's the case.
Yeah, but this guy has proven over the course of his career to be someone unlike anyone we've seen. Right? He's still going strong at the end of games for Colorado. Right? Like he's still having games where I'm catching 10, 12 passes a game. Now,
I want to see Jamar Chase against him. You know, size, not just the talent, that size bullying him, the Michael Irvin types.
Yeah, but I think it's easier. You know, it's good you say that, because that's why I like this approach for Travis Hunter more than the other way. Because if you try to do it, hey, we're going to do it small, we're going to work you in, and we're eventually go, he's going to chomp at the bit, and it's going to be a daily thing. When is he going to play more offense? Didn't you draft him to play offense? Where it's much easier to say, hey, you're going to do both. And then if we see that, okay, clearly your reps here, you were exhausted on that play, and you find this out in training camp, right? You'll find this out in camp, in the preseason games, in the joint practices when he practices. Like, you'll see it. And the beginning of the season, hey, you know what, dude, you're sucking wind here. That was you had nothing to offer us in the third quarter when you played wide receiver. So now we got to dial it back. And then he's got to understand, okay, I need to dial it back. And then it's much easier to do it that way. Because if he comes out right out of the gate, hey, okay, great. All right, great, you're awesome. But if he comes out and says, hey, maybe okay, so then you dial it back a bit and you work him back in that way. But everybody then is on the same page. And there's no frustration. There's no, hey, you lied to me and my agent. You said this was going to happen. You said I would play here. I'm not here. Why am I not the number 2 option on offense? How come I'm not doing this? It's a much easier thing to go from you're playing a lot until you show me you can't. That's much easier than, don't worry, we'll work you in. We'll get you there at some. We got to protect you as an asset. No, the guy can do it this way. Put him on the field. Let him do it.
And so are you thinking of, when you say maybe he's scaring some team near the top, are you thinking of a team of the Giants or whomever that might have a top draft pick and have a chance at him next week?
Apparently it's somebody. I mean, I can't believe, well, probably not the Titans, because they're going to go quarterback with Cam Ward. I got to think, after what the Browns and the Giants have done at quarterback in the last couple of weeks, and the way both of their owners and GMs have talked about, we don't need to rush a quarterback. We don't need to force a quarterback. That Cleveland's not taking a quarterback at 2, and the Giants aren't taking a quarterback at 3. Now, if that happens, the Browns are going to take Travis Hunter. I mean, if that happens and they're really not, that's the guy to take. Abdul Carter is terrific, but this is a guy that's going to come in and he's going to be the number 1 superstar on the team. You have a superstar. You have a supernova. I'd ask any team in the NFL, how hard is it to get a super duper star? This guy's walking in off the field for you. You're going to sell jerseys. You're going to sell more season tickets. There's going to be interest level. And let me see him play DB. Let me see him play wide receiver. Social media is going to be all about him on a Sunday. Like, he's going to raise your level.
Do you remember how big Josh Gordon was with Cleveland? It was brief, but that's what you're talking about. It can blow up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to take a quarterback, right? If you're really not going to do it, then Travis Hunter has to go number 2. I mean, he's got to be the guy there at 2 for the Browns, and the Giants will sit there at 3 and go, oh, now we're stuck, man. Really didn't want to take Shador. Now we got. Hey, anybody want to trade up? Anybody want to trade up? Anybody want to trade up? Anybody?
What do we have to give you to trade down? Hello? Anyone?
What if we give you Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley? Mr. Shane, you don't have those players anymore. Oh, right.
Can we get him back and then trade him?
I'll call you back. Let me call you back. So I'm telling you, man, I mean, Travis Hunter, put him out there and just let him go. That's the best strategy.